Hello and welcome to ARK Survival Evolved. We're on the Extinction map and today we're breeding Thylacoleos. So I've got one here for instance. She's a female. I've bred her from the two that I captured before and tamed up. She's got the same health, the same stamina and the same melee as the two of them combined, just taking the best of those three stats. And she's come out at level 244. But as with everything to do with breeding him, I'm in a bit of a pickle, so it's going to take me a lot of breeding to get the results that I want. But before I explain all that, just before we get started, if you find yourself liking the video at any point in time, then do please remember to click that like button, because that'll really help me out. If you're new to the channel and want to start seeing more content, then do subscribe. Just remember to click the little bell icon as well, because then you'll get reminders when new content comes out. And if you've got any comments or suggestions, then do leave those in the comment section below. Now, as I was explaining, I've got this female here. She's come out at level 244. It took about three. I had about three Thylacoleos were created before she popped up with the exact stats I wanted. I'm only interested in the main three. They've now given me a male. Now he's level 252. He's got the same health, the same stamina and the same melee, but unfortunately he's level 252. And what I need is I need two Thylacoleos, a male and a female, that I can breed from. But I need them to have identical statistics. They've got to have exactly the same level, otherwise it starts getting complicated when they produce offspring. If they come out at some different level, like these ones for instance. I've got like a 236 out of these two now, which so means it's somewhere in between them getting it's pulled stats from somewhere in between, but I need them to be identical pretty much. So I'll just change that to low because I need to get this out of the way. It's probably stuck on my luck, but come on, move yourself. So this one here is no use to me. It won't have the levels I need. I can tell that straight up, and it doesn't match the 244 of that one. So I've got one female in there level 244 and two males that don't match up. So it's going to be a case of I'm going to have to just keep on breeding until I either get another male that's got level 244, or I'm going to have to keep breeding until I get a female that's level 252. Because I say the idea is I want a male and a female so that when they breed, so say for instance I've got a male and a female and they're both level 252. If their offspring come out exactly the same, they'll be level 252. If they're better, in other words they've got a mutation, they'll come out maybe 254 for instance, and that makes it easier to spot them because they don't necessarily always come out with like a colour mutation. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to take forever because these are having live births, they're just producing their offspring and they gestate within the female. It takes a lot longer to breed them up than it does just being able to hatch be able to get some dinos, produce a load of fertilized eggs, get those ready and then hatch them out. That's a lot quicker when you've got eggs, but when you've got a baby being born, it just takes a lot longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm just going to bring you back once I've got two identical Thylacoleos, a male and a female, that don't have any imprints. I don't want any and I also don't want any mutations either, because if they've got mutations or imprints, the statistics can be a bit skewed when you look at them. The imprints don't carry over to the next like generation either, so it's kind of pointless doing that. So it's just a case of getting two identical Thylacoleos and then I'll start breeding them to get mutations. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll bring you back once I've got those. Okay, so I've now got some breeders. I've got a male and a female here they've both got identical stats, same level. So when the female pops out a new Thylacoleo, I'll be looking either for some new colours or a higher level. If it comes out with the same level, then it's not going to be of much use to me, to be honest. I mean, I've got a couple of females that I'm breeding up at the moment. It's about 2 of them I've managed to get, so they're identical, absolutely identical. I'm not going to like imprint them or anything. I'm just leaving them out here to mature, and then I can speed up the breeding process, because it takes quite a while when you've got sort of like the actual baby gestating in the mother instead of having the egg produced, because you can speed that process up a bit for the egg-laying dinos, but for these ones I've just got to bide my time. So as long as I get a few more females, then I should be able to speed things up. So the plan is basically just keep popping out babies until I can find the... I'm kind of focusing on mainly a bit of health, a bit of stamina, and a bit of melee. Ideally some decent colouring as well. But I'm not going to go too far. I'm not going to end up with some super duper Thylacoleo. That's not the aim, because they're not going to be using like an end boss fight or something where they've got to last for a long period of time. And the main aim is to really just go out there, use them as tanks against things like the Allosaurs and T-Rexes, for instance. Part of the reason I want to get Allosaurs is, as far as I'm aware, I think they're in the large dinosaur family, and I haven't learned the kibble for that yet. T-Rex will be in the extra large family, so that's another type of augmented kibble I should be able to work out once I've get myself some low-level T-Rexes and some low-level Allosaurs. And I'll also be using one of these. I'll sort of like try and get, you know, in the sort of like the time given, I'll try and get as many stats as possible from mutations, some decent colours maybe if I can, but then I'll basically just imprint whatever I've got left, take 2, like a male and a female with exactly those same stats and mutations. Then I'll breed those 2 together. They'll become the base pair that I'll be using to breed the dino that I want. Well, not a dino, the Thylacoleo, I should say. They'll be used as the breeders for the Thylacoleo that I want, and then I'll imprint that final one, and then I should be able to go out and do my tanking. So that's the one thing I like about these, is you can just take them out, and I can just, you know, they can just take quite a lot of hits. As long as you get a reasonable sort of like saddle, that's a lot better. But all the same, I should just be able to go out with a long neck rifle and trunk things like a T-Rex or an Allo without too much of a problem. So just see what this one is, because so far everything that's been coming out has been level 252. To be honest, they're all looking the same. I haven't even seen a variation in colour or like a mutation yet. So just out of curiosity, we'll see what this one pops out as. Yep, it's in the 252. Okay, well, I mean that's all it is. It's just a waiting game, and it should start to speed up once I get the other females going. But I'll bring you back once I get to make some progress. It's a bit of a slow process getting mutations. I quite like this one. This one came out with extra stamina. This is like one of the first phase breeds that I've got. So this one here, she's got so 1 level in stamina. Now, what I'm really liking though is this little one that's popped out here just shortly. I really like this one because I like the colour on this one. She's actually got, it's odd really, because I'd just getting a mutation in weight, but there wasn't any colour. Now this one's just popped out, and she's got the same extra weight setting, but she's got this lovely purple colour. So I'm going to keep that, because that's the sort of colour I'm looking for. Whether I'll bring that green stripe in or not, I'm not sure at this stage. I mean, I definitely want her because she's got stamina. But I'm really liking the colour of this one, to be honest. I'm not sure if I want to change anything on that one. I mean, you can get different colours on the underbelly. This one's got like a little, kind of like a whitish underbelly. I can just about make it out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to keep a hold of this one. I mean, the weight's not that particularly important or anything. It's useful, but it's more the colour that I'm going to keep this one for. So I'm going to keep breeding because it's mostly the health and the melee that I'm interested in. But Yeah, I think that's going to be the colour I'm going to go for though. So I'll bring you back once I'm further on in this process. Okay, so we're into the next phase of the breeding program. Ah, that's not my luck. And basically what I've got is, I've got a male here with an extra health, and a female with extra stamina, and what I'm trying to do is to breed them together, so that way I end up with two dinos that have got extra health and extra stamina, and then I'll breed them together to try and get a one that's got more mutations. So I'm just going to try and get this to budge. I'm not going to keep that because unfortunately it's got the right colours, but it doesn't have the... I can tell, I mean, these are both level 254s, so it's a bit of a shame really. It doesn't have the... It's missing something. Yeah, it doesn't have the stamina, so there's no point in me keeping that one. So it's just a case of breeding these two together until I get the ones that I want, and then I'll start the process going again to try and get more mutations. I mean, normally I wouldn't be doing that if I was doing, you know, like a high level dino. If I was trying to maximize out the settings, you've got like a limit of 20 on either side, and as soon as you start breeding these things together, where you've got mutations on both sides, you really quickly run out of slots, if you will, for your mutations. So the idea is you take a male that's got a mutation, breed it back in with the females that aren't mutated until you get a dino that's got that mutation and another, and you just rinse and repeat. Now in my case, I haven't had that much luck, to be honest, in getting more mutations so far. So if memory serves, I had this one, which has got the extra weight, but it's got a nice violet purpley colour. Trying to remember what the other one was. Oh yes, the other one was that one with a green stripe, the female that's in there. Yeah, the female over there who's got the extra stamina, she's got like a green stripe down her back. Since then I've gotten this this female here. She's got nice silvery, you can't really see it unfortunately, the night time's kicked in, so it's a nice silvery colour though. And what I did is I bred her with a male to get me the male one here, and then that way I could breed these two together. And I also got this like bright neon green one. To be honest, it's not the sort of like colour I'm looking for, so I don't see me keeping him. And I also got this one, this male here. He's got a like a silvery grey back stripe, silvery grey paws, which is quite nice. But I mean, I was originally planning to breed in this colour, this like violety purpley colour. The trouble is, it's I stopped the game for the day and then I restarted it up, but I forgot to reset the taming, the mating interval. It's going to take about 36 hours because I bred her with one of the males and she didn't get, I didn't get basically the dino I was looking for. And then I noticed I hadn't reset the mating interval because it's going to take 36 hours for her to be able to breed again. So that's a real pain because that's 36 real hours for me, 36 hours of gaming time, because I'm not on a server. I'm running the game on a PC. So the problem is I've either got to keep the game running, keep the PC turned on, which I might actually do. I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep coming back to every so often to check on the food, because I'll have to go around to every taming pen that I've got, make sure everything's well stocked up, and maybe leave the game running. I think that might be the only option really. Otherwise that's going to be a pain. That would just take absolutely forever before she's ready to breed. I think I've probably mentioned before, I mean, it's the reason I've turned the taming settings up is that, I mean, if I was just playing this, say, like, you know, maybe once a day, for instance, if that's the only time that I had to play the game, that would be 36 real hours of gaming time for me. Whereas on an actual server that's out there running, it would be pretty much done in the space of just a couple of days. And I do quite like that colour, but we'll have to see. We'll see. So this one here that's come out, it's 254, so it definitely doesn't have the mutations. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop the video there, and then I'll bring you back once we're on to the next phase. Well then, I've been doing a lot of breeding, and I mean a lot of breeding. I mean, I had these two that I kind of like started off with. One's got health, one's got stamina. I started breeding those together, so I ended up with things like a Thylo that's got both the health and the stamina. Then this one came along, which has got 2 health, so that was better. And to be honest, I do actually like the darker colouring that it's got. And I started leaning towards that one instead for its colours. But I did get this one, which is interesting. It's got the lighter colouring, but it's got like the green back, little ringlets around its tail and its paws, which I quite like. But these two popped out, and I quite like these ones. These are the light ones as well. So that was good. So I managed to get a bit further. So these two are slightly darker, as far as I can see, than those two. But it is the dark one I do like. So I started breeding some more together. So I bred up 2 females, and I was using them to then try and get more mutations. So these are the very dark colouring that these two have got. Just go and get that because he's like gold dust. But I did get a 260 come out, so I got this male. He's got melee as well, and so what I've been doing is I've been breeding him with those 2 females that we just saw there, those 2 darker ones there, the 2 258s. I'd managed to get a 260 out of them 2. So once I got 2 more females, I'm going to breed these lot together, and from that I'll get the dino that I'm going to go out and use on the map. I don't have probably all of the kibble, so there's a good chance that I won't be able to get 100% imprinting on the first one. So the plan is to basically breed up a few of them. Hopefully another mutation might come out. Although I do want to keep this this colouring. It's a nice darker colour. I do like that a lot now. So I'm going to basically breed these and just hopefully get another mutation. If not, whichever one comes out that I can get 100% imprinted, that's the one I'm going to keep. You might have noticed I've since changed the lighting in this place. It was a bit too dark. I had torches on the walls before. So what I've done is I've come back and I've just put these little multi-lamps on. And I've disabled the auto settings on all these, because normally they would just come on during the day, or they'd come on like at night time and turn off in the morning. But I've just got them set to stay on all the time. So it keeps the place nice and bright. So I'm going to pause the video there, start these breeding, and at some point I'll end up with the little Thylacoleo that I'm going to be using to go out and tame Allos and T-Rexes. So I'll bring you back once I've got one. Right then, so this is the Thylacoleo that we're going to now start running around on the map with. She's a level 260, so she's not quite up to a par with like a fully tamed level 180 if I'd been able to get one of those. But she's got 100% imprinting. I did manage to get another one fully imprinted, but there was quite a few of them I lost. They didn't quite get there. I mean, I think one of them was after superior kibble. There was a few of them were after things like walks, and if you've got to walk them all the way down there and bring them all the way back, I mean the timings are really close. So these ones, I mean, you normally asked for like some of the kibble, like the simple or the basic. I think at one point one of them asked for like sabo root, another one asked for rock carrots, so those are things I could get them. But yeah, I went through quite a few, and oddly enough I did get, there's one of them, if I can find him. He's around somewhere. He was I did get another one which was I think it's level, it's got, oh yeah, here it is, here, this one here. So this one actually popped out, it's a male. If I can just get out of its nose. This one actually popped out with a mutation, so it's actually got 4 health. but I didn't want to go through the lengthy process of then breeding up females to match up. That would take a while. And as I said, I mean, to be honest, I mean, if I get a 180 Thylacoleo somewhere on the map anyway, it makes these ones kind of obsolete, to be honest. But I'll definitely make do with these for now, because I mean, I can tame them. Well, I can take them out and level them up, and that should make my life a lot easier for getting things like Allosaurs and T-Rexes. And I might even try one against one of the was it the Managamas, I think they're called, the ones that are out in the snow biome. It's tempting. I mean, I'm kind of reluctant to like sacrifice one of these now after the amount of time it's taken me, to be honest. And but I'm pleased anyway. I do like the colours. I mean, a nice mix of sort of like dark and light colours. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, I'm just going to give this a couple of levels. It's one thing I like the snow owl for. I mean, that came in really handy, because rather than having to wait around for these once they've matured, I didn't have to wait around too long for them to then get their full health, because I just used Ozzy the Owl to just turn them into popsicles, and they healed up really quickly. So I think it's a case of, I'm going to take this one out now for a spin. I don't fancy its chances in the cave over there. Normally I like to take Thylacoleos out running in caves. They're extremely good for that sort of thing, I've found. And I mean, I know some of them on the different maps, they're kind of narrow where you just can't fit them through, but there's ones where you can bring a bring a baby in like through the crack or something, and then you could just basically fully tame it inside of the cave. So I've done that on some maps, but these are just great, especially because you can just just get the gun out. It just makes everything just so much easier. So I'm just going to go and run around and have a bit of a play with that now, because I mean, I know there's quite a few Allosaurs I've seen on the map. I'm after low level ones because I want their eggs to get some more kibble. I think there's a few. I know there's like a superior and I think it's extraordinary. Yeah, so I know of at least two that I need. And I'm fairly sure I could probably get one with the Allosaur eggs and one with the T-Rex eggs. So the idea is to basically just find low level ones. Now the T-Rexes are out in the wastelands, but the Allosaurs are around in this desert biome. Oddly enough, I haven't really seen many actually in packs, which could make things easier, because you usually have to go out and about and hunt them down and take out the pack leader, and then it's a case of having then just basically taming the lower level one. The problems I've had with those, like especially on the island, for instance, is just trying to get high level Allosaurs, because that's what I will want eventually. I think wherever I've been on a map and I've got to face the end bosses, I'll want Allosaurs and T-Rexes, for instance. Just give this one a... Oh, have you leveled again? Oh, that's cool. So I'm going to have a look around, because I see I want to get about four Allosaurs, 1 male, 3 females. That's something I'm just going to have to be mindful of, is the Euryarus. I mean, that's what I like about these versus, say, like the Enforcer. The Enforcer's a really good one. I really do like it, but it's got that downside where it's just got no armor. I mean, I've got at least 25 armor on this thing, which gives it a bit of resistance against damage. It's got the imprinting that I've just given it, so it'll have 30% damage resistance, and it can dish out 30% more damage. I mean, they're pretty fast to get around as well. Of course, you can just climb up the walls, and let's see if I can get up this one. I don't know if it will be, because it's at a bit of an angle, to be honest. Yeah, come on, climb up the walls. Get climbing. You want to climb, you know you do. That's what you're made for. You're made to climb up walls. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Atta girl. Ah, that could be interesting. What level's that Velonosaur down there? 12. I think I can risk that. I mean, these Velonosaurs are pretty lethal at range. So hopefully I can close the distance before it starts causing me damage. Because they're not that bad. I mean, that thing, it doesn't do much damage when it's close up. It's at its best when it's at range, because by the time you catch up with it, it's done a lot of damage to you. And that damage can be not necessarily just against the dino that you're on, but also against you. I mean, I've been killed on the back of I think it was an Argentavis, for instance. Right, what are you? I've already killed like a 180 Velonosaur for some stupid reason I wasn't paying attention, so I'm gonna have to be extremely careful. I don't want to like waste opportunities. So I mean, we're hitting out at about 248 damage, which is not bad. I mean, not bad. Just I mean, she's only got like one bonus in melee. And I think that came from a 162 female, because that was what I got, was a 162 female. Oops, someone's. Oh, they're annoying creatures, they're things. They just annoy those like ants and Meganura. Right, so I'm going to put a couple into melee. So that's going up at the rate of about. Oh, I should have paid more attention there. That was going up. It's going up fairly high. So it's just going to be a case of keeping my eye out for allosaurs. I mean, they will run. Because usually what I would do is like for a big high-end one, I wouldn't want to chase one around the map, especially on here because of the Velonosaurs. Let's see, so you're 494, so you've got up by about 8 there, so that's not too bad. So we've got about 8 per pump. But no, I mean on the map, I mean you can track down a sort of like a high level one. And I'd feel pretty safe on the back of one of these things. The only drawback is at some point it's going to decide to turn tail and run, and you're going to have to start chasing after it. So it's usually easier to just still, basically play a game of tag and then just lure it back to a trap. But if I can find a low level one, I think I might just tank it. Because the only thing I'm bothered about on this map really is the Eucryanus and these Velonosaurs. What's that one? I'll be a low level one. Yeah, you're a 42. What are you? It's a nice colour, that one, actually. It's a nice sandy colour. I think I might go down to the lower levels. Because I quite often see... Hang on a minute. What's this one here? Yeah, I think I might go down to the lower levels. Oh, I keep getting tempted by these Velonosaurs there, but they're all like low levels. The ones you're going to have to... I'm just going to have to just get rid of them so I can hopefully get higher level ones spawning. But I'm fairly certain the last time I've seen allosaurs, they've been down in the lower levels where there was pools of water are. And as I say, I mean, at this stage I just want so like 3 females and a male, and then I can start getting the eggs, and then from that I can try and work out the kibble. I don't know which one it'll be. I know there's 2 so far that I haven't got. So we're just gonna have a bit of a wander around now. I'll have a bit of fun with the Thylacoleo here, and hopefully we'll come across a decent allosaur. So let's see. So where's the beacon? Because it'll be near the beacon. Yeah, it'll be down there. So they're usually around here somewhere. Come out, wherever you are. Murphy's Law, they've probably been all been eaten. Because there's quite a lot of these. It's sort of like they've run into problems with like stegos can do quite a bit of damage back to them. There's quite a few thorny dragons. They're quite common on the map. Ankylos can hand out quite a bit of damage as well. Well, as is typical with ARK, when I want to find something, it doesn't want me to find it. I'm just gonna have a ride around. I'll bring you back if I find an LSO that we can tame. Right then, I found level 90 male. No, I don't want to use that. That would be like seriously dumb to use that. But let's see how we're gonna do against that thing over there. So let's up against the Dimetrodon. Come on! Yeah, I mean she's only taken like 18 damage. So that's not bad. At some point this thing's going to start running, because I mean I'm quite lucky that I've got that high level. There, see it's already started to run. Well, that was handy. He's got stuck in a... Yeah, he's got stuck in the rocks. It's just falling down straight away. So that's really handy. I mean, I can just tame these things off the back. I mean, I've no idea how I'm going to get that back out. I'm assuming I'm going to have to break the rock at some point. Oh, that's true. I just wonder if I've got any prime on. Did you pick up any? I mean, that's the one thing with the with Thylacoleos is you never run out of meat too soon. It harvests so much. Tell you what, I mean I'm not really too bothered. It's only a little. Oh, I'm gonna have to get rid of this. There's way too much in here. I don't need any of these. But these things will harvest so much that you've got to keep stopping every so often to sort of like empty their pockets, as it were. I'm just gonna leave this. Just give it normal. I don't care, to be honest. I don't care about things like taming effectiveness or something like this, because it's just a matter of all I want is a male and 3 females. I wonder if I can actually reach this thing. So what's it? Yeah, I can't reach it from that side. Oops, sorry, Mary Monkey. Come here. Wow, look at all that. It's still bouncing around. So I can at least reach it from this side, but I'm gonna have to run around to this side to actually see where we're at. Oh, I don't want that thorny dragon coming anywhere near me. But yeah, it makes things a lot easier. I mean, I must admit, like having the long neck this ascendant long neck rifle makes a big difference, quite frankly. But the principle's the same. Just just go and tank it off the back of the Thylacoleo and then chase after it if you want. Otherwise, you can actually just drag it back to a pen. I sometimes do that where I'll just shoot it off the back of one of these. Then I'll just run back to a taming pen, and I'll go over the ramp through the gate, and the gate will close on its own. It's one advantage of the S Plus stuff is it's got auto closing doors. But now I've just got to basically tame this one up, get it back to base. I'm just going to check. I don't know if I've got any. Yeah, I've got. That's another good thing I like about this. Now I've got cryopods as well. I've got quite a few more from an orbital supply drop, because I've been taking the Enforcer out to test them. I wanted to test it on orbital supply drops, not element veins, and what I found is it is really good. It makes the whole process a lot faster, because it can take corrupted dinos down a lot more quicker. The only drawback is it doesn't handle damage very well. I mean, that one I've got, I mean, it was a 168, and that was taking a lot of damage from there was a dire bearer in the area. It was just a normal dire bear, and it took a lot of damage, so I came back with very little health left. But it is definitely useful. I don't think I'd be comfortable taking it up on its own against on a yellow supply drop, for instance. So far I've only used it on like blue ones, and I think it was a 10k element vein. Because when you get into the higher level ones, then you're up against the Parasers and Trikes and all sorts, and they can do a lot more damage, and because the Enforcer doesn't have any armour, it does take a lot of damage. And the only way I've found to be able to quickly heal it is to use like a Snow Owl. So basically I'm I'm just at the point now where I've got this this one tamed, well, ready to tame up now. I think what I might do is I might go out and get some prime meat just to speed the whole thing up. But I mean, I'm not really bothered about its taming effectiveness at all, because I'm just going to use it with 3 females to get me the allosaur eggs for whatever the next kibble is. But the main thing is I've now got myself a Thylacoleo. I really like this. I really like the colours on this one. It's nice shade, nice dark colours and light colours and what have you. I think you can get these colours out in the wild, to be honest. I don't think they're just, you know, the ones that you get from like breeding. Because I'm pretty sure I've got one similar to this one on one of my other maps. But I've achieved what I set out to do anyway. Now I've got my breeding done, and I've got the Thylacoleo. So I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it's taken me a long while. I suppose that's one thing, is like, you know, it's worth it in the end, because I really love these Thylacoleos. It's got to be one of my favourite dinos on the map. I mean, I know they're not technically dinosaurs, but yeah. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, then do please leave a like, because that'll help me out a great deal. If you've got any comments or suggestions, or there's anything in particular you'd like to see on the channel, then do make a note of that down in the comments section below. If you're new to the channel and want to see more content, then yeah, do subscribe. Just remember to click that little bell icon, so that way you'll get notifications from when new content comes out. But until the next video, thanks very much for watching. Bye!